Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. This is Nana Chats. Let's talk mental health in law school. 5% of lawyers are black. Ground, it is okay for you to open up and swallow me now. I wanted to die. It's my padfolio. You see it? You see it? The judge was yelling, the prosecution was yelling, the defense was yelling, like everybody was yelling.
My story, man.
First of all, let me apologize for, being a little bit MIA for the past, I don't know, what is it, week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm struggling in law school. Yeah, it's just a lot, you feel me? And so I'm taking 17 credits. If you don't know from watching my other videos, I'm taking 17 credits, which is the max amount of credits. I have 4 finals coming up and final papers and stuff that I need to be finishing. And this past weekend was my church anniversary. It was just a whole bunch of stuff, right? So I've been pretty busy, but I am here now. That's all that matters, right? Is I'm here now. Thank you so much for your grace. Thank you so much. I just want to let you know that I'll probably be way more consistent after finals rather than within the next 3 weeks. Back to the video. So like I said, I want to talk a little bit about mental health in law school. I know a lot of people go through it, and when I say it, I mean depression, anxiety, severe stress, stuff like that while in law school. And I even know some people who went to law school and had mental breakdowns while in law school. And I feel like a lot of us go through it, but we don't really talk about it because of the environment of law school is I'm good. You good? Cool. And you kind of talk about it with your close study group oh my god, I'm dying. But everybody else is it's a lot, but we're good. You good? I'm good, right? So I feel like it's very important to talk about it. I know that there are some organizations out there who have kind of started talking about it a lot more. So yeah, I just wanted to make a quick little video on it. First thing I'm gonna do is give you some statistics. So Lawyers Concerned for Lawyers, I think they're an organization in Massachusetts, but they have some statistics, so I'll read those first. 96% of law students experience significant stress. 70% of medical students experience significant stress. 43% of grad students experience significant stress. So as you can see, the highest number from what they're saying is within the law school students. They also found that at the end of the first semester of law school, rates of depression are 4 times higher than the general population. 4 times higher. That's a lot. Above the Law wrote an article about the National Law Journal study on 3,000 students from 15 different schools. Here are the results of that study. 1 in 6 law students have been diagnosed with depression in law school. 37% screened positive for anxiety. 14% met the definition of severe anxiety. 22% of law student respondents said that they were binge drinkers. These issues only get worse after law school. I don't know how many of you know this, but the legal profession has the highest rate of alcoholism than I guess any other profession, which is crazy. The American Bar Association did a study through Hazelden Betty Ford Clinic, and they found that 1 in 3 lawyers have a drinking problem. 28% suffer from depression, and of the 1 in 3 lawyers that say that they have a drinking problem, 27% of them say that that drinking problem started in law school. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about depression and anxiety. I'm not an expert. I'm not a psychologist. This is information that I think everybody can find on the internet. I just want to talk about it really briefly. Some symptoms of depression are a hopeless outlook on life, loss of interest, increased fatigue or sleeping problems, anxiety, irritability, and changes in appetite and weight, and uncontrollable emotions. People often think that if somebody says oh, you have depression, you're really sad and you cry all the time, or you just don't cry at all, you just don't talk to people, you're always by yourself, stuff like that. And I think that because people have that extreme in their mind about being depressed, they don't notice when they are depressed. In law school, I've told myself, oh girl, you're not depressed, you're just sad. It's just, I don't know what you're sad about, but you're a little sad, or you're just really tired, or you're just maybe it's about to be that time of the month, maybe that's why you're craving all this crazy food or whatever. And maybe they go hand in hand, but there is something that I found called atypical depression. This type of depression is still kind of argued about amongst scientists and psychologists and whatever, but they have labeled it a specifier to major depressive disorder. Now, I'm not one to speak bad on my life, right? Power of life and death is in the tongue, feel me? So I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm depressed, but at the same time, there are facts, right? Some things are just facts. And I think when you notice that you're in that state, that's it, this is the label for it, okay? So the symptoms of that are similar to the symptoms of regular depression. In a typical depression, you can find joy in things that you would usually like find joy in, and not like joy, but I mean like you can laugh, you'll smile. If something's funny, you'll laugh, you know, like if you're with your friends, you can speak to them. But all of that kind of has this kind of undertone of hopelessness and sadness. So don't downplay your mental health, right? Just because you feel like you don't have a major depressive disorder, or you weren't clinically diagnosed with clinical depression, or you don't take medication or whatever, doesn't mean that you're still not going through things. Now I want to quickly talk a little bit about anxiety. So symptoms of anxiety, which I'm sure many of you know: nervousness, restless, or feeling tense, feeling of danger, panic or dread, rapid heart rate, rapid breathing, heavy sweating, trembling or muscle twitching, trouble focusing on or thinking clearly about anything other than the thing that you're worried about. For me, law school is me placing myself in a constant state of anxiety. Like I am always, and the weekends, it just feels like, oh, yes, thank you, until I remember that I still have work to do and readings to do for the next week. But if I'm just spending time with my family, I can breathe normally, and then I realized that throughout the week I wasn't breathing normally. You feel me? Like I wasn't calm, always anxious. And I guess that's kind of what happens when you put yourself out there and do things that you're not always going to be comfortable with, which can also be a sign of growth. But still, you could also be suffering from a bit of anxiety. Now, let's talk about this. Why are law students experiencing mental health issues at such a high rate? Why? What's different about law school? Well, everything.
I cried every day.
Law school is not undergrad. Law school is very different from your other educational experiences. Law school tests you in ways that you probably like never thought you could be tested, and like I think everybody goes into it knowing it's gonna be hard and it's gonna be like horrible, but unless you have like first-hand experience or you've spoken to people who talk to you in depth about what you're about to face, you kind of go in with a little bit of like,
oh yeah, I'm about to go into this school. Look at me, I'm going to be walking on campus. I'm going to be so cute with my legal books, and I'm going to be learning what I love.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And it is a great experience, but it's very, very difficult. And some people would even disagree with me in saying it's a great experience, because some people really think it's a horrible experience. And I think that's why a lot of these students are facing mental health issues at such a high rate. I wrote down some things just off the top of my head that makes law school stressful. Cold calling, the competitiveness, being forced to put yourself out there if you're introverted, the curve, the rankings, figuring out that being a lawyer isn't what you thought it would be, finding internships, meeting requirements, the bar, money, whole grade being based on one exam, the adversarial setting, no coasting, no cramming. If you have to sit there every day worried that you're going to look stupid in front of the class because the teacher's going to call your name without notifying you or without you raising your hand, that's just so anxiety inducing. The competitiveness. Now, my law school is not an extremely competitive school, but it's still is always going to be competitive, right? Any law school is going to be competitive because of rankings, because of the curve. I know a lot of what I've been worrying about is the fact that my grade on the one final I take for the whole class is going to be the grade for the whole class. If you mess up in one little way on your exam and you get a C, then you're getting a C for the whole class, even if you understood the class. That actually has been where I've been feeling my most like hopeless feelings, especially with my classes this semester. It's been pretty difficult. It's just a lot. When you get into law school, you see a whole different side of it, right? So I think some people think, especially if they've never worked under an attorney or worked closely with an attorney before law school, you assume that when you're going to be an attorney, it's going to be glamorous. But a lot of it is reading and research and rationalizing. Your whole beautiful utopian idea of what being a lawyer is and what being in law school is crumbles right in front of your eyes. And a lot of people just become so discouraged by that. Okay, so I'm just going to read what I put here because I think I put it here better than the way I'm about to say it. Yes, law school is hard for everyone, but focus on how it's making you feel, right? How it's affecting you. Are you sleeping? How's your nutrition? How much are you eating? Are you not eating? Are you gaining a lot of weight? Are you losing too much weight? Are you getting out of bed? Are you having to drag yourself out of bed? Are you waking up like 1.5 minutes before class to log on? Are you missing classes? Are you isolating yourself? And when I say missing classes, I don't mean 1 or 2, like you're just missing classes for no reason just because you don't feel up to it today. I'm not saying all of this to make people not want to go to law school. No. I think we definitely need more lawyers. We definitely need more Black lawyers. And I believe that people have done it. People have gone through it without having mental breakdowns. You know, like the stress is there. The anxiety is going to be there. But you're going to get through it. And there are some outlets that you have to find or make in order for you to relieve that stress. Other than drinking and doing drugs, please.
Don't do drugs. Oh, no.
When you're in law school, you have to be intentional about your mental health. You have to take times off from social media, maybe, from spending thoughts on things that unnecessarily stress you out. You don't want to waste thoughts on other people's issues. So you kind of have to strategically plan out how you're going to think about things and what you're going to think about at what time. If you're going to spend your whole Saturday doing nothing, spend your whole Saturday doing nothing. Light candles, you know, take a nice little bath, get your favorite food, and use that time for you. Also, talk to somebody about it. Don't hold it in. Isolating yourself is the worst possible thing you can do. Isolating yourself in law school and with your friends, not talking to anybody about how you're feeling is not good, because then your body is going to find a way for you to release the stress. You get what I'm saying? Like, your body's not going to be able to physically handle the stress that you're dealing with. And I know people that get sick, they crash and stuff like that, not because they've been in contact with somebody else who's sick, but because they're so stressed out and they've been bottling it all in. We don't want ulcers, right? We're not paying law school bills, and we're not paying tuition and owing money to the government so that we can cultivate ulcers and a drinking problem.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Yeah, to the no.
So talk to somebody about it. It's always great to know that you're not alone. If you're not in a club in your school, find a club in your school that you feel safe in, that you can talk to people about it. Find 1 or 2 people that are also in law school with you that you can kind of just complain to each other about how horrible everything is going and how you wish it were better. Talk to a licensed professional. If you really feel like you cannot get yourself out of this hole, you need to talk to somebody. And that does not make you crazy. That does not make you weak. It makes you a human being. Everybody is struggling, especially in law school, especially during COVID when we're all at home. Eat, okay? Now, I'm not saying eat like trash, because that's a symptom of depression. I'm not saying don't eat at all, but eat something. Get a nice little yogurt, get something that's gonna make your body feel clean, get some fresh air. Even if you can't go outside today, open the windows, let the cold air blow in your room. Take a walk, talk to your friends, spend the little bit of time that you have with your family. These things can help you relieve the stress. Now, the depression will come. Maybe not for everybody, but for some of you, it will come. And sometimes you may not notice it, like myself, but it came, right? And it'll go away. And it comes and it goes away, and it comes and it goes away. But I try my best to do all that I can do to make sure that I'm staying in a good place mentally. Because when that depression hits, and even if you know you have finals, you cannot study for finals. Like, you can't. You just can't. You can't focus. It's just really bad. So making your mental health a priority, however you want to do that, that's healthy, I suggest you do it. You start doing it now. Start doing it now, bro. Start doing it now. Okay? I love y'all so much. You can do it. You're amazing. You're awesome. You're capable. You're smart. You're not alone. And I'm going to try and put some information on some of the outlets that I was talking about in the description box below. Also, the suicide hotline number, I'm going to put that down there below. I just, want us all to grow together. And even though we're growing together, there are going to be some hiccups, some bumps in the road, some hard stuff, some hard times. But we're all going to get through it. Just like when the little flower coming up from the ground, it has to push through the soil before it can, you feel me? You feel me? So thank y'all for watching. I really do appreciate y'all. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And check on your people. Bye.